Santa Monica. The Santa Monica Public Library. And I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, I always looked at the library as something that just old people went to. And I didn't think that it was not someplace I wanted to hang out. Our library in Colorado, we had a bunch of transient homeless people who would go there during the day and kind of crash on the sofas. So I always felt like the library wasn't something that really I could relate to. But that's before I discovered the Santa Monica Library. The library is, here's an image of it. It's a brand new building. I think it was actually built in 2007. So it's a fairly new construction building. It's very contemporary on the inside. They have even a terrace and a cafe where you can sit outside and read books or work on your laptop. And it's located at the corner of Santa Monica Boulevard and 6th Street, so it's pretty convenient for all of Santa Monica. And if you are a Santa Monica resident, you can get a library card for free. If you are not a Santa Monica resident and you are a California resident, then it costs, I think, $25 annually, which can more than pay for itself when you think of everything that they have at the library. And they also have this really great website that you can go to. I'll pull it up here. See here. If you just Google Santa Monica Public Library, it comes up. And you can do book searches on it, so you can type in the name of your book that you're interested in, and you can reserve it online and then just go pick it up. For instance, I just did a book search on Think and Grow Rich, and they have it. They have it in many forms, actually. They have it in book form. They have it in an audio book that you can download. They have an ebook that you can download. So they really have a lot of options for you, and they're really, a lot of the ebooks are available now through the library as well. And I'm not quite sure how that works, what you do with your library card to get it to download. I haven't tried that yet, but it's great to know that the libraries are keeping up with the times. But then what I really wanted to do, when I think about libraries, is I wanted to find out what kinds of books do they have for people like me, or people who are Generation X or millennials? Are there books at the library that we can relate to and that we actually want to go to the library and check out? So I did a test, and I took 5 books from my own personal bookshelves at home, books that mean something to me, and I did a book search on the Santa Monica Library to see if they actually had those books in stock. And the first book that I checked on was Watchmen. I don't know if some of you have read this. But this is one of the all-time famous graphic novels, and it's about the flawed superheroes that we all see in the movies today, except this was really one of the first books that actually had that concept. And it's been around a while, but it is available at the Santa Monica Library to check out, as well as the movie format if you prefer to watch the movie. The next book I checked is a book I just recently read, and it's called The Fault in Our Stars. And this is actually a young adult novel. It came out in 2012. And let me tell you, this is one of the best books I think I've ever read. It's really, really powerful. It's about 2 terminally ill teenagers who fall in love, which sounds like such a downer. But the writing is just so humorous. And when you mix humor with tragedy, it really draws you in. And the library actually has 43 copies of this. And when I checked the other night, 7 copies were available and the rest were checked out. So you can definitely find some of the more popular books. They stock in masses at the library, so it's not like they just have 1 or 2 copies. The next book I checked was The Rum Diary. It's Hunter S. Thompson. And I just started to read this, so I haven't really gotten that far in the book. But if I'd known it was at the library, I could have just checked it out instead of purchased it. But if you don't want to read the book and you'd rather see the DVD with Johnny Depp as in the movie, you can also get the DVD at the library. They have a large collection of DVDs. And then I wanted to see if they have books beyond just fiction. And so I thought, well, I wonder if they have some of my cookbooks there. So this is one of my cookbooks. It's called The Kind Diet by Alicia Silverstone, and it's a vegan cookbook, which I'm not vegan, but I do like this cookbook. It has a lot of great recipes, and it's available at the Santa Monica Library. And what's great about checking out cookbooks is you can then just Xerox photocopy the recipes that you're interested in, and you don't have to get the whole cookbook. So this is also and then finally, some of you, this will look familiar to some of you, the Beauty Detox Solution. I actually gave a speech on this book a year ago to Toastmasters, so this might look familiar to a few of you. And it's all about detoxing and eating healthy. And when I gave this speech, it was in January, and it was going to be my New Year's resolution to follow this book. And then somehow I kind of went off the wagon with that. But it's available at the library, so for those of you who want to get healthy, maybe Miley's giving up sugar and pasta, so she could check this out. So in conclusion, I want to say the Santa Monica Public Library has surpassed my expectations because they had all of the books, many of the books that I care about on their shelves and available to check out. And one more thing I want to point out is I'm not trying to discourage you from buying books, because I do believe in buying books and supporting writers and supporting authors and letting them earn royalties. But at the same time, if you want to read a lot of books in a year, or if there's books that you're not totally sure you are going to get into, I think the library is the perfect place to check it out, and then you can read it, and if it's something that ends up being one of your favorites, then you can just go buy the book and keep it in your collection. So that said, the public library, it's not just for grandparents, it's for all of us, and I encourage you to check out the Santa Monica Public Library. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Everybody, please take a moment to write down some comments for Stephanie. That's interesting. I didn't know that libraries were getting so modern. I'm a big fan of audiobooks. I use Audible. I don't know, does anyone else in here do that? Yeah, it's fantastic. I have a hard time finding the time to sit down and really read, but with Audible, it's great. You can do it at the gym, or when you're driving, or you're shopping for groceries.
Thinking you are rich.
There it is. That's actually how I'm reading it right now on Audible.
You can go to the public library, the LHPL system. I took my iPad in there, and they have a program they'll hook you up with, and you can download e-books. You just have to have a card. Go in, they've got tech support at the library now. They'll hook you up, and you can. I read Bleak House over the holidays on my iPad, so they're very, very.
Things you learn in Toastmasters. With that, I'll go ahead and introduce our third speaker for the evening, Christina Lee. Now, there's something I wanted to say in preface to Christina's speech, which is actually that she is giving her third speech that Jorge has mentored her on. Now, what this means is that Jorge will earn his, I believe, final point towards, what is it, advanced gold? AC Gold? So Jorge's going to earn his final point towards AC Gold, which will get us as a club to 9 out of 10 points towards the distinguished Toastmasters Distinguished. I believe that's right.
Yay, Christina!
Christina and Jorge, we're going for 10 out of 10, but with 9 out of 10, we will officially be President's Distinguished for the first time in, I think, a couple of years, and so that's great. And I also wanted to, as a club, give Paula a big round of applause.
Yeah.